Peace reflection. I love myself. We're going to tune into some sacred geometry today. So I got quite a few different examples that we're going to work with today. And the concept of sacred geometry is working with more of the holographic fractal style of the universe of what we experience in this reality. So it comes into play in a lot of different manners, and like I said, I got some examples to show you with. This first one that we're going to work with is the golden ratio or Fibonacci sequence, and this comes into play with the spacing in our bones, different examples within nature, which this example is going to be one of them. And so this is an ammonite. So this is the golden ratio, this spiral that occurs. So this spiral occurs within the spacing in the bones, like I said, obviously within this piece. Within vines will display this. Galaxies, spiral galaxies. This is a natural formation of life. Okay, so I believe it also is displayed within our ear, components within our brain as well, and I mean the list is going to go on and on and on. But this also represents the manner to which reincarnation works as well. So there's the ascension process. So this is raising your vibration. You move into a higher form of the spiral. Okay, so you might be like deeper. I mean, you can perceive it either way. This could be higher on the spiral, it could be lower on the spiral, just depending on your perception. So I'm just going to say that this is higher on the spiral. But you might be deep in the spiral, and to tune into the ascension process is to raise your vibration. So working with the sacred geometry is going to help you raise your vibration. Depending on what you need might depend upon, or might influence rather, the form of geometry that you're going to use. Okay, and like I said, there's the ascension process, raising your vibration. At the same time, there's the descension process, lowering your vibration. So very important to work with this type of stuff very regularly. If I'm not going to get into other aspects. I've done talks on that process, but this is an example that we can observe in our natural environment. Okay, so this is very key. Again, if you're looking to ascend, to tune into this type of patterning. Okay. So the next one I'm going to show you is I might be mispronouncing this too, but a Sierpinski fractal. So this is a painting that I did, and what this is a big triangle, right? And then what you do is you make another equilateral triangle just inverted in the middle, okay? And then same thing, boom, smaller examples going inwards. So the reason why I made this in particular is just a friendly reminder for myself of the fractal reality that we live in, okay, and that we're multi-dimensional beings, okay. So you can observe, the more apparent larger structure that we first observe is our physical body. We're in a body, our emotional body, spiritual body, and so on and so forth. And those are different dimensional planes that we exist upon. So the reason why I made this is to give me that reminder that I'm not just a physical being. There's many more different layers to me, that if I sit still and I observe, then I can tap into those other vibrations, those other frequencies within myself at any moment. Okay, and it's also a very with geometry, straight lines are masculine energy. So this has an overall tone of a very masculine energy. There is this circle that goes around that somewhat comes in with a little bit of balance, but it's very, very, very masculine. Especially like all these straight lines in here is extremely grounding. Okay, masculine energy is very grounding, very analytical. Okay, where the curved lines, and I'll show you examples coming up that are much more feminine, more intuitive to work with. I mean, same thing with the ammonite, right? This is more of a feminine type of feel to it because it's all curved. There is, within this example in particular, some straight lines in there, but the overall tone is a curved line. So that's basically what I was working with that, and then just to kind of work more in the masculine energy still, and this is still not a full Sri Yantra, but this is the first one that I ever really made. I did one attempt before this. It wasn't the prettiest thing, but this was the pattern that I it was coming in very strong for me to work with. So with these next few patterns I'm going to show you, I really like to meditate with them. Where this one, right? I have this one just as like I said, as a little bit of a reminder. These guys I like to really meditate with. So what I'll do is with this middle triangle in here, I'll use that as a drishti, as a point of focus to really tune my energy to, and I'll just stare at it. You know, let it clear out the distractions and act as like a light portal for me to move into and experience what I need to experience in that moment. Allow any thoughts, ideas, visions to come in, you know, feelings, anything of that nature, just, you know, let it come in. So this is another very masculine design with a lot of straight lines, okay? So also the color tone, when you start to, I'm not going to get too crazy into the colors right now, but the color tone is going to give it a particular feel to work with. So if this was, where the dark blue, or deep blue rather, if that was like a yellow and this purple was a red, this pattern would have a completely different feel for it. When you would meditate with it, it would take you somewhere else rather than what this is doing. And in my mind, it was like, what I was seeing was I needed to work with higher vibratory states. So when you look at wavelengths of colors, you know, the cooler tones, you know, deeper blues, purples, those have much more, a lot quicker waves than a red that's, you know, it takes a longer time to make those patterns, okay? So it's going to give you a different feel. It's going to react with you in a different manner, okay? So Sri Yantra. And this next one, we're going to switch it up, bring in some feminine energy with it. This is Flower of Life, and this is all curved lines. So I made this one to tap more into my creative and intuitive inner divine feminine energy within myself. So as you can see, even like these little guys over here, these little vortexes, all curved lines within them. So what I would do with this pattern is I would look, again, right in that little center point. You might even be able to see within, I put a lot of intention into this painting. So you might, even in just the video, right? So like this video compared to looking at this in real life, different. Okay, so when you find a pattern that you want to work with, either make your own or print it off so that you have a physical copy. You're not looking at it through a screen. The screen's going to be good, you know, to an extent, but the real thing is going to be completely different. So with this, I'll stare at the center point, and then like different circles, or you know, different circles are going to pop out. You know, it might, the green might stand out for a second, and then might switch to the blue, and then it might go back to the circles popping on. Then I might, you know, see something come through it. Who knows? You know, depending on where your vibration is at, these patterns are gonna meet you where you're at and help you ascend even higher. Okay, so if you're already really open and you're working with patterns like this, it's gonna way open you up even more to access higher vibrations visions of the future or the past or whatever you need to work on present time, right? I just read something with the present time, like I won't even get into this, off topic, but again, if you're very creative and you want to make your own, then when you make these patterns, I would highly recommend you, if you have an intent on why you're going to use it, find a mantra that correlates with it, and then the whole time while you're designing it, say that mantra. While you're painting it, say that mantra. Use your mind to layer in even more intention to the painting. It's gonna go a long, long, long way. Okay, so this is, I don't know if I said this, but this flower of life is this design, and this is the overall field patterning of the universe. So if you want to get deeper understanding into that, you can look into Nassim Haramein, and he'll break down, he'll go into a lot of other things, but he'll break down this pattern and how it is displayed throughout everything, basically. So again, flower of life. And then you can look at, too, just real quick, the difference between how, we'll go with this one because this one might even be a little bit better, between the paintings, right? And like the different color tones and the different feels that the paintings give. So if you're looking for a specific energy to work with, then find the color tone that's going to work with that, okay? And then this last one I'm going to show you is Metatron's Cube, okay? So this is, I haven't quite finished this painting yet. I haven't even started painting it. I've just got an outline, but this is going to be a balance between the feminine and the masculine, okay? So there's a lot of these straight lines, but a lot of curved lines as well. So what this pattern, again, what I would recommend is staring at that center point and just letting the pattern communicate to you what you need to receive in the moment. And with this, so with having both the curved lines and the straight lines, what it's doing is it's balancing the hemispheres of your brain. The right side is your feminine side, the creative, intuitive side that's going to work more with the curved lines. The left side is your masculine side. It's about the straight lines, being analytical, being very logical, okay? And both serve a purpose. So working in this pattern is going to create bridges between the hemispheres of your brain to harmonize your energies so that you can get a better perspective of life. There's times that you might need to look at things more analytical and logical, and then you're like, okay, I get that, but I need to find an even higher perspective of that. So I'm going to use the right side of my brain and be more creative and more intuitive with what I need to see in this situation. And this pattern is going to help you with that. Okay, and another thing with this pattern is it displays all of the Platonic solids. So the Platonic solids are the ways that molecules are formed, the different shapes that they take. Okay, so a tetrahedron, which if you see the big triangles that go through, right? That's a tetrahedron. It's a four-faced object, or a four-faced shape rather. You have a cube. You have so a hexahedron. You have an icosahedron. You have a dodecahedron, and I feel like I'm missing one, an octahedron. So all of those are within this patterning. You can look it up and it'll break it down a little bit more and show you better. And each of those, so getting even deeper into it, again, this sacred geometry goes super deep. I'm just lightly scratching the surface for you right now. But the Platonic solids represent the elements. So the tetrahedron is going to help you harmonize more with the element of fire. The hexahedron, so cube, is going to help you work with earth. The octahedron is going to help you work with air. The icosahedron is going to help you work with water, and then the dodecahedron is going to help you work with spirit. Okay? So, yeah, so that's Metatron's cube. And you might be, depending on where you're at, you might want to find one that is more grounding and more analytical. Find, the Sri Yantra. You might want to find something that is more creative, intuitive, like the Flower of Life. Or, again, once you have those sides of your brains functioning, then using Metatron's cube to bridge those hemispheres and create that natural flow between the sides, and things will just start to click a lot more fast and on a deeper level for you, because you have that ability to, again, perceive life at different dimensional planes. You're not just perceiving it in a creative manner, you're seeing it in an analytical manner. You're not just seeing it in an analytical manner, you're seeing it in a creative manner. And so that's what the Metatron's cube is going to help you do, is to tap into more of the multi-dimensional layering of life, and find much more harmony for you to flow through life. Okay? And that's about all I got on this one. So if you have questions, as always, drop that in the link. And yeah, other than that, much love to you, many blessings, and keep tuning in. Peace.